Hi, welcome to the game store. How can I help you? Yes, absolutely. Have you been here before? Well, it is so nice to meet you, and thank you for visiting us again. So what brings you in? What are you looking for? PlayStation? Okay, and what console specifically? 1 and 2. Well, perfect timing. We actually just had a trade-in. We have a PlayStation 1, 2, and a selection of games. So would you like me to show you everything? Wonderful. Well, I'm happy to help. And how familiar are you with PlayStation 1 and 2? Okay, so it's been a while. Well, I can refresh your memory for you. Before I get everything though, can you just tell me your name, please? Perfect. And your phone number. Perfect. So I see you do have a rewards account here, and you have purchased things before, so if you were to purchase anything else today, those points would go toward your account. Alright. So why don't I go grab the consoles and the games, and then I can tell you a little bit about everything. Sound good? Perfect. Well, I will be right back. Alright, so I will show you the PlayStation 1 first. They actually have the controller right here. So here is the console. And this is the PS1 version, so this is not the original that came out. But this one's in great condition, as you can see. It's nice and clean. And we have all the cords for it. And it works perfectly. So on the front here, there are a few scratches, but nothing too crazy. So you have your power and reset button right here. And then this is the button to open it up and insert your disc. And I see we actually do have a game in there right now. So I'll just remove it because this actually is a part of the trade-in, so you could purchase this one if you like. So I'll tell you about that in a little bit. As you can see, good condition inside. And then here is the bottom. So that's the PlayStation 1. And here is the controller. So this controller is not in the best condition, but it does work. And we do have some others on the wall over there, if you'd like to take a look at them. Okay. So here it is, just plain silver. But like I said, it does work. So let me just click all the buttons for you. Okay, let me move these for you. So they're good, they're not sticking. And these buttons are good as well. So this does come with the PlayStation. It's not sold separately. So you have that. And then it also comes with a memory card, since you would need that to save the games. So next, let me show you PlayStation 2. So it's just this black color, and this isn't in the greatest condition, but it's also not terrible. And it does work, it comes with the cords, everything like that. So you can see on the front, you have your memory card slots, and then you actually open it right here. Okay. And like I said, everything is working with this, so you don't have to be concerned about that. So let's move on to the games, but before we do you have any questions? Wonderful. So, why don't I grab the PlayStation 1 games first? So, this is just a selection. We do have several more in store, but these were traded in with the bundle. And I think they're kind of good starter games to have. Since you mentioned you used to have a PlayStation but it got lost, this might be some good ones to have. So why don't I start off with the two loose ones we have here, and if you would be interested in them, I do have a case I can give you. Alright, so Crash Bandicoot. There are several Crash Bandicoot games for PlayStation, and this is the first one. So it's a platformer game, and I will say it's a little challenging at times, but you play as Crash, who is a bandicoot, and your goal is to make it through the levels and ultimately defeat a final boss. And you also have different moves in all of the different games, which is fun. And you can collect different things. So you collect fruit is one of the things. I believe when you reach 100, you get an extra life. And there's many different obstacles throughout the game. Like I said, some are very challenging, but this is the first one, and it's a great game to have in your collection. So that is Crash Bandicoot. And then this one is Crash Bandicoot Warped. So this is actually one of my favorites. I think the levels are really, really fun. There are different portals that you have to open. I think there were 5 levels in each portal, and then a final boss, if I recall correctly. And then a big final boss at the end. But I just think a lot of the levels were really fun. I remember you can play as Coco, Crash's sister, in one of the levels, and ride on the Great Wall of China, I believe it is. And then one of my favorite levels was where you're actually chased by a dinosaur. I remember just loving that when I was younger. So I would recommend picking up both of those if you're interested. Actually, let me just slip them in here. And then, like I said, I will use our disc cleaner for both of these especially, since they are rather dirty. Okay. So next I have another set of games that have the same character. you may have heard of this character before. So, Spyro the Dragon is a 3D platformer. There he is right there. And this is so much fun. I recommend it to pretty much everybody who is looking to buy PlayStation games. There's a lot of fun levels, and Spyro is just a cute character. He has a lot of good moves. You can fly, obviously. You can breathe fire. You have a charging move. And basically in the game, there's different worlds that you can travel to, where you collect dragon eggs and gemstones, and then ultimately beat the main boss. There's just some other characters in the story. So, it's a lot of fun, and this was the first Spyro. And you can actually play these games on Switch now. So if you've done that, don't expect the quality of this game to look like the Switch version. These are obviously much older. So the disc looks great too. And then if you enjoy Spyro the Dragon, you may enjoy Spyro Year of the Dragon. Now this case is cracked, but I can get you another one. There's just a little crack right there. So, Year of the Dragon has better graphics. Similar concept with collecting dragon eggs and gems, but I believe there's a lot more worlds in this game. And I believe in this game you can also play as other characters. Let me wipe the disc down. I also believe there are some mini games in this one. A lot of fun, and you can actually see Crash on the back right there. But if you like fantasy type characters, and if you like the dragon aspect, I would recommend it. And it's not too challenging. Some parts may be a little challenging, but nothing crazy. And here are some of the other characters you can play as. So I would recommend this one as well. So the next game is completely different from what I've showed you so far. And this was surprisingly one of my other favorite games for PlayStation. And it is Tony Hawk's Pro Skater. So you don't have to be a fan of skateboarding or Tony Hawk to enjoy this game. It's honestly just really fun riding around on a skateboard, doing fun moves, and just having fun. And this game was very popular. It still is today. They just brought a version to Switch, which I know people were excited about. The graphics are not amazing, but this is PS1, so you can expect that. What else? So I remember there were different objectives and kind of missions you could do if you didn't want to just skate around. One thing I remember is you could do something called career mode, I believe it was, where you could, for example, have to collect the letters to spell out the word skate. So that was always fun. And you can see the skaters are listed in here. So you have Tony Hawk, and then several others on the other pages during that time. So, like I said, definitely a fun game to not take too seriously and just have fun. So, next is another very popular game, and I'm sure you've heard of it before. It is Tomb Raider, and there is Lara Croft on the front. She's the main character, and I love this game. It's an action-adventure game, which you can see from the back. You're basically looking for an artifact. There's lots of puzzles. Obviously, you're getting through tombs, collecting different objects, completing all the levels. There's the disc. And for me, I just liked it because I enjoy treasure hunt type games. So I just thought it was really fun, and this is very interesting. So it's fun to see this. That back in the day, you could find these items that you might want to order, and then use this little slip to actually purchase them through the mail. So that's very nostalgic. But this is a fun game. She had some cool moves and just a good action adventure. So that is Tomb Raider. And then one more for PS1. There are so many Resident Evil games, and this is Resident Evil 2. If you don't know what Resident Evil is, it's a survival horror game. You play as Leon, the main character, and you're with Claire in Raccoon City. Basically, there are zombies everywhere. So you have a lot of exploration and puzzles. A lot of combat. And each character has a unique storyline. But I think I just liked it because it's a cool atmosphere, in my opinion. And like I said, there are a lot of Resident Evil games. The most recent being Resident Evil Village that came out a few years ago. So here you go, you can see some of the characters right there. Leon at the top, who I mentioned, and then Claire. Oh, she's the third one. Oh yes, and then Ada Wong and Sherry. So this is particularly good if you like survival horror games, but if not, then I would skip it. So that's everything for PS1. Why don't I grab everything for PS2 and then we'll get started. Alright, so now we have the PlayStation 2 games. So I guess I'll start off with the 2 RPGs that I have. So I'll start off with Final Fantasy X. So Final Fantasy overall is just a very popular role-playing game. It is turn-based with the battle system. And you play as the main character right here, Tidus. And basically you explore the world. And you explore with a group of fellow adventurers. There's the disc. And you're all trying to save the world. Similar to most games. But all of the Final Fantasy games are very popular because of the beloved stories and characters. I myself am not a huge fan of turn-based games, but many people are. Let's see, here's some of the characters. And particularly, I do know Final Fantasy X is one of the more popular Final Fantasy games. And the next RPG is Dragon Quest VIII, Journey of the Cursed King. So, this Dragon Quest I know was very popular because it had a 3D environment. And again, with this, the battles are turn-based. And your main objective is to break a curse that is throughout the kingdom. And I will say, I never finished this, but I remember the dialogue being really good. And just the characters being really good as well. And Dragon Quest as a whole is, again, very, very popular. So if you are a fan of RPGs, I would pick up both of these. And actually this game comes with an extra memory card, so you would be able to have that for free. Next is one of my favorites again, another Crash game. And this one is The Wrath of Cortex. So there's Crash on the cover with the boss. And this one was really fun too. There were more moves you had. I can't remember exactly all of them. I know you could play more as Coco, his sister. You can see up there you can ride a scooter with her in one level. But the objective is the same: gather crystals, defeat the levels, beat the bosses. The graphics are better though, obviously, compared to PS1. And of course some of the levels are challenging. But just a lot of fun. And let's see. What else do I remember about the Wrath of Cortex? So you have the crystals. Just wanted to see what his moves were in this game. Here they are. So that's right. In this game, one of my favorite powers he had was the bazooka. You can see right there. So the fruit that he collected, he was able to shoot through the bazooka at enemies, which I thought was fun. And he had tiptoe, super double jump, death tornado, and crash dash. So I would definitely pick this one up. Lots of fun. So the next game is good if you are a Star Wars fan. Star Wars Battlefront is your typical shooter game. And the object is simple: to eliminate enemy forces. So there are different weapons you can use. I believe you can ride on different vehicles as well. So for example, a speeder bike. And just in general, if you're a Star Wars fan, this is a good one to have. And if you like shooting games, it's also good to have. So that's Star Wars Battlefront, and then you also have the insert for that. And I forgot to mention that all of these games are complete, meaning they have the inserts, with the exception of those two PS1 Crash games. But you could always look for them in the store. Sometimes we'll get trade-ins, so you might be able to find them someday. Tony Hawk's Underground is another fun skateboarding game that I enjoyed. So in this one, you're actually yourself, and you're trying to become a pro skater. Underground is obviously more of an advanced game compared to the original Pro Skater. And I remember in this one you could explore the world on foot, not just with your skateboard, which was kind of cool. There's not many pictures in here, but I promise this is a fun one, especially if you end up liking Pro Skater. So this next game is Simpsons Hit and Run. I am not a Simpsons fan, but I will say I've played this game and another Simpsons game many, many times. So I find this so much fun. It's kind of like a Grand Theft Auto. And basically what you do is drive around town and steal cars, drive recklessly. The game really focuses on exploration and the quests that you can do, or the tasks, missions. And there's different maps you can follow, and you can play as different characters and drive different cars. It was just a lot of fun. Again, one of those games that's not too serious. There's a close-up. Let's see. So you can see, you can really, when I say drive recklessly, you definitely can. You can crash your car, run over pretty much everything. So, if you like that type of thing, I would pick this up. And you have another memory card in here. so you can keep that one as well. So that's it. That's everything I have. What are you thinking? Are you interested, not interested? You are interested. Well, that's very exciting. So here's my thought. Why don't I just drop a price? Like I said, this was a trade-in. Obviously, everything's used. So I think I can give you a fair price compared to our competitor stores. So why don't I get that price for you and meet you back here in a few minutes. Okay. So you said you're interested in everything, correct? So that would be the PS1, the PS2, the one controller, and then let's see how many games. So PS1 was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. PS2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So PlayStation 1, PlayStation 2, and all of the games. So let's see here. I think I can give you a great deal, and I'm going to apply a coupon code. We actually are starting a promotion tomorrow, but since you're a valued customer, I will give it to you today. So you will get 10% off everything. So that being said, I can offer you the entire bundle for $145. And I will say that that is a good price compared to our competitors, like I said. So, how does that sound? Wonderful. Well, I'm glad you agree. So let's get you checked out. So you can pay with cash or card. Card. I can take that. Thank you. Let's see. I'm sure you're excited to get home and play these games. Yeah. Yeah, there's nothing better than firing up an old console and just playing a bunch of games all night. So here's your card back. And I'm going to email your receipt. And it looks like you gained 10 reward points in the store. So you can use that toward your next purchase if you'd like. And I'll email you a summary of that as well. And you are all set. I'm going to have my colleague here take these discs back and just give them a good cleaning to make sure they are in pristine condition. And then we will pack everything up for you. Sound good? Good. Well, thank you for coming in again. And please stop back anytime. We're always having trade-ins, new items. You might find something that you're interested in. So keep an eye out for our promotional emails. And if you need anything at all with any of the games or the systems, we do have a 30-day return policy. So you can just stop in and we will take a look. Alright. So thanks so much for coming in and enjoy your PlayStation 1 and 2. I hope to see you again soon.